Okay.
So, hello everyone. Welcome to Sprint 56 Sprint Review Retro and Planning for YakShaver. We have a massive one because it's a 2-week sprint. It's the week of NDC. It's our theoretical go live date for free tenants, but therein lies the bad news. Rick, how do we go with the sprint goal?
We need our sprint goal was to create the non-SSW tenant. However, this is in progress, and we found out in the last minute we couldn't get the end-to-end test to work. There's some problem within the OneDrive subscription. We couldn't create a separate subscription for that tenant, for a new tenant. So that means we couldn't get this over the line before NDC. This is still
The other big thing is even if we got that done today and we worked through the night or whatever, we still can't go live because we have to get the Teams app. Is it certified or whatever? Tested and on the marketplace?
Tested and verified.
Yeah, which takes 2 to 3 days to do. So even once we get that done, then we need to start the process of getting the Teams app verified before it will be on the marketplace and available for people to use outside of SSW, which sucks.
Okay. So I guess Rick and Haji, when did you guys first realize that this was going to be a potential outcome or non-outcome?
I found this out over the weekend. A few weeks, like 1 or 2 weeks ago, I was confident that this should go smooth. However, in the last minute testing, it didn't turn out to work. And then I reviewed the whole progress and realized, oh, then this Teams app published wouldn't get over the line in time. So that's why I bring this up.
And when you discovered it, how did you alert the team and the stakeholders?
I only notified them today because over the weekend, I found this out over the weekend when I was working overtime. So I had no one to tell. And then today is the first time I tell everyone.
Okay. I probably would have sent a Teams message so people knew, or an email or something. Yeah, it's probably better for us to have time to percolate and think of a plan B. But do you have a plan B?
Yes, we do have a plan B. So the plan B is instead of telling everyone to sign up, we will start collecting their information. So whoever is interested, we can collect their email address and their company name. And once we got this Teams app published, we'll send them emails with the link saying, hey, you express your interest during NDC. Here's the sign up link.
So I'll steal the screen for 1 second because I'll just sort of show you what that means. So first thing we've got is this QR code. So I got Josh to make this up. This goes straight to the job form, which they put their details in on, if that makes sense. So they can we can have this at the booth. We can say, oh, if you're keen, quickly just put your details in here, and within a week or so, we'll contact you and get you set up. So that's one way. The other way is here. We're going to, on the pricing section, if they click any of these, it opens up a job form, which is the correct job form now. And then, yeah, we're basically going to point people here. So say, go to yakshaver.ai, check out whatever. And then if you like it, like go in any of the, whichever plan you think you're going to end up being interested in, pick that plan, put in your details, and we'll contact you within a week or so and get you set up.
Can you just click on the combo box for plans?
This one?
Okay. Okay, that's in the right order. That's good.
Yeah. Cool. So okay. It's not what we hoped for, but it's a plan B.
Now the QR code takes you to which URL?
It takes you to this URL. It takes you to this job form.
Okay. What with that pricing in the background?
I don't know. I haven't tried it. I only just got him to make it right now. Does someone want to try it right now on their screen?
Yeah, I believe it's going to link to the form itself, not the page. It's a job form, so it's actually being embedded inside of an iframe, so we could just link them to the form directly.
Yeah, I think it's much better.
It just goes to the form directly.
Yeah, I think it's much better to link to an SSW URL, not a jot form, because they change those And I've come across them before, and all it does is say, sorry, it doesn't exist. Would you like to sign up to Jotform? Okay, so make sure it's an SSW property. Now, it's very common. Have a look at other sites or use V0 to say, I'd like a wait list. This is essentially what you're doing is a wait list.
Yeah.
And they're a very, very common strategy. So you can put a waitlist URL on the ribbon at the top or the menu bar and just go to a simple waitlist form. It's a way to generate interest. So it's one way of working.
Okay. So do we want to do that instead of the job
I
form?
agree. I think waitlist sounds like, it's coming soon. Where
Yeah, but
registering your interest sounds like it's still work in progress.
Do we just do, dash waitlist on the end of each of these or what?
No.
Waitlist.
No, you only need one URL, waitlist.
Yeah, but where do they click it from?
It doesn't have to be paid. It doesn't have to come from pricing. That can just be an optional field.
Okay, so up here, like a big join the waitlist thing?
Yeah, join the waitlist. Yeah.
Okay, so Caleb, you're full-time, Josh is part-time. Do you want to take this?
Yeah. Also, when's the deadline for this?
You can follow what Levi just said and say the waitlist is 45 days away or something.
Sure.
Okay, so it's just like
no,
updating.
but the deadline is tomorrow.
No, but you join the waitlist and you'll be informed in 45 days.
Right, but I think Caleb was asking what's the deadline for getting this up?
Oh, yesterday.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, this would be priority one, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Can you
just
guys
thinking-
check also with Lewis, because I talked with him about a waitlist already a few weeks ago.
Okay. Where is Lewis?
He's on leave.
What a
Yeah.
great time for
He's
leave.
back tomorrow though. So actually that's a
Okay.
good point. We can get him involved. But sorry, Caleb, you said something, Tom said something at the same time. Would you say, man?
Yeah, I'm just thinking NDC is tomorrow, right? So would
And
wouldn't this need to
NDC
be-
proper, like with the booth, is Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah. So we need this by the time we get people on the booth and we go, right, check it out. Here's where you do it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So
priority
one of the main call to actions on the site should be try it now. The other one should be join waitlist. Cool. And I suppose whatever happens when you click join waitlist should be the same thing that happens when you click these. These should also go to join waitlist.
Sure.
Cool. All right, awesome. Do you want someone to YakShaver that quickly for you? So you got that? Well,
Yeah, if you don't mind. Thanks.
yeah, sure. Give me 1 sec. I'll do it now. It's funny. I'm actually recording both things. 3, 2, 1. Right. Hello, YakShaver. On the yakshaver.ai website, what we would like is a big button up the top right, a big call to action, probably in red or something very visible that says join waitlist. When that another way to get to that same URL would be clicking on any of these. That would also take you to the join waitlist page. And then you would who was going to give us what actually happens at that page? Does everyone remember?
Wasn't it Louis?
Okay, so talk to Louis or Lewis to find out what should be at that page. But basically what should happen is that they have some way of adding their details to a waitlist so we can contact them. Realistically, it's pretty similar to filling out the job form. But yeah, the idea being that they know that they're joining a waitlist. Cool, thank you. And that needs to be done by Caleb, and it needs to be done by the end of the 29th of the 4th at the latest. Thank you. Cool. All right, back over to you, Rick.
Yep. All right. So this is a 2-week sprint. We've got lots of people working on the project. Hajia, Stephen, we've got Bryden as well, a little bit from Michelle. So let's go through the PBIs. Switch to this view. So first of all, YakShaver now supports multiple video hosts. They can configure at the project level or the tenant level. So the video hosts that we support now are YouTube and SharePoint. So
yeah, there's basically 3 different ways that people could host their videos. They can have it, if it's on SharePoint, they can have it locked down, so only people in the organization can see it. They can have it in unlisted version where anyone with a link can see it. And then YouTube is unlisted by default, which is anyone with a link can see it.
Can I just check about the lingo? It's really storing it in OneDrive. Should we be calling it SharePoint when it's OneDrive?
I'm fine with OneDrive.
I'm not certain myself, but I know it is stored in OneDrive, and I know SharePoint is like a shell using OneDrive. It feels wrong to be calling it SharePoint, but you could.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought OneDrive was SharePoint under the covers.
There's OneDrive personal. There's OneDrive, which is the personal, and then there's OneDrive for business, which is SharePoint loads.
Yeah. So yeah, SharePoint is using OneDrive for its document storage.
Oh, cool. Didn't know that. Okay, sweet. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm happy to switch that to OneDrive because maybe then it sounds a bit less Microsoft specific, which might mean that other companies are more comfortable with it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's good. That's a good point too. I hadn't thought of
Then
that.
again, playing devil's advocate, people are getting away from OneDrive to SharePoint.
No, not.
Yeah, they're like when a company grows, they start with OneDrive. They have all the
Oh.
folders, and then they say, I want to develop a SharePoint intranet for our.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
say SharePoint and OneDrive.
You could say OneDrive / SharePoint if you want, and then you get them both.
All right, Rick, you got
Okay.
that?
Yep. Okay.
Super clear requirements there.
Sure. Yep. And
Cool.
by the
So
way,
by the way, yeah, I think Rick and I are probably about to say the same thing. The back end for this is done. It's done for SSW. It's done for the TINA project specifically. But there's no UI in the portal for this yet, and that PBI is in the next sprint.
Okay, I get that, and you kind of do develop APIs first, knowing. But I am curious. The back end is a ton of work. The front end is a tiny bit of work.
There's still a couple of days left. The estimate for that PBI is 1 to 2 days, I think.
Yes, but wouldn't it make sense if Rick was developing this super hard feature and he says, "Hey, Stephen, can you just make sure you're ready to have a combo box here? It's just bind it to Ray for the time being, but as soon as it's ready, the UI should be done." Like that's just a little bit of communication between the team. You've done a ton of work, Rick. You just need the little icing on the top to make the cake look good.
right. Yep. I'll do that next time.
Rick, that PBI that I just shared didn't work. It sent an
Oh.
email.
Oh, okay.
Tried it manually. It's been sent as an email.
Okay.
Actually, it
Um,
hasn't been sent as an email either. All right, we'll have to rejig it.
hmm
There's a current bug happening, by the way, which sometimes hits me where my shaves aren't working.
Don't worry, I've experienced it.
I've shaved it as well.
Yes, we've all reported it to Hajir.
Oh, is it today? Okay.
Sure
Right.
is.
Next one, AI Whisper. So now we have switched from Azure OpenAI to OpenAI. We're still using the same Whisper model, but on OpenAI we get more limits. So we are able to process 7,000 files per minute.
Instead of 3.
Instead of 3, yes.
So we're not, just to be clear, we haven't moved to the 4.0 transcription. We've moved just to straight up OpenAI Whisper, which required very little. It was easy to do because it's pretty much the same thing.
And this feels really weird to move from Azure OpenAI just to OpenAI.
Yeah, it's because the rate limits only allow you to shave 3 yaks per minute across every tenant, like shared amongst every tenant.
Did we
So-
request a higher rate limit?
We didn't.
We didn't. I
I haven't got
thought you were going to ask Adam to contact them.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't. I couldn't get hold of Adam, and then I think it's easier to switch to OpenAI.
You could get a hold of me for for your daily scrums. So
Oh, right. Yeah. But because the reason is when we request rate limit, I wasn't sure if that will get approved before NDC. If that got approved just before NDC, we still need to make the code change, and that's a risk.
all right, it's just an email, and I could have done it, and I still
Well,
should
we
do
can
it.
still do it. Let's still do it.
Yeah,
because then we can move back.
Yeah.
But heads up, with the reason we didn't move to 4.0, even though 4.0 is better, is because it doesn't do the granular transcript timing, timestamps. So, and we use those at the moment to figure out like when we should do the figure.
Right. Okay.
But that's probably coming soon, but it's not there yet.
So it's lucky last week that we decided to go to OpenAI Whisper rather than swap to 4.0.
No,
I thought we decided to stay on Azure and ask for higher rate limits.
Yeah, well, either way, we decided to stay with Whisper rather than go to 4.0 transcribe.
Yes, for now. Although we will probably end up moving there eventually anyway. Or if there's an Azure version of it. That's it. Next one.
Next one. EF Core migration now should apply to all the pre-provisioned databases. So it wasn't doing so before. So this is a bug. Now it's been fixed.
Cool.
We've got website FAQ. This is just a minor formatting CSS fix. So the title gets a little bit bigger.
Can you just open up the real site for the FAQ? I just want to see how it works.
Just scroll down to the bottom.
Scroll down to the bottom.
And can you open the first one? And open the second one? And the third one? I want them open. I don't like this, you trying to control me. I want them open. If I want to open them all and take a screenshot, I should be allowed to. I know which ones I want opened and which ones I want closed. Yeah. So I personally would say that one.
Keep them open.
Yeah. I don't think that's it. I know why people would do it. I know designers would choose that style, but as a user, I don't want that.
Okay. Caleb, can you take a note of that?
Sure.
Sure.
Anyone disagree with me on the call?
I personally prefer the other way, the way it is currently, but it's a 51-49 thing, so I don't care if we go one way or the other. I have a light preference for the way it is now.
Yeah, it looks nicer. It's not functional.
Okay. Next one, blue-green deployment. So now we have got that in place. So now we have a deployment slot where we can first deploy to a preview slot, and that will enable us to do a last-minute check. So we were able to redirect the traffic 100% to the preview slot and making sure we are happy with the production release. And once that's done, we can swap it. So that gives us a zero downtime deployment.
Okay, that's really impressive that you've done it. Two things. First, how many minutes were saved from downtime that were happening before?
How many minutes? I think we were every deployment should give us 2 to 3 minutes downtime.
Okay. And now is that now going to show on any of your reports?
Maybe not, because the availability checks runs every 5 minutes.
Right, but that should pick it up, or you should change the availability checks to every 1 minute so that this outage is showing what it was and what it is now. Okay. Can we, like, I'm not asking you to roll anything back, but I do want you to have the, I do want 3 minutes of outage being captured by your graphs, otherwise you can't see it. And the other thing is I want you to update a rule based on how you've done it here.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sure. I'll take a note of that.
You can ask anyone to be your scribe. You don't have to do it. You're doing the presenting.
All right.
I'm taking the note.
Stephen then.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's move on to next. Hajia. So you've got 2 items here related to browser extension. So what have you done?
Can I ask a stupid question on the previous page? So I know that the ones with the ticks on them are done PBIs. The ones with the little porky thing,
This
that
one?
like a,
Merge pull request.
That's
so
a
why is that
pull
why
request.
is that on the backlog?
Because you can have any of those on a project.
Right, and is that basically just another way of making a PBI, or is it a different thing?
It's a pull request. Like
But isn't there a pull request for every one of these? Like, why aren't there all the other
it
ones?
may not have been. It may not have been pulled into the project. You may have some automation that's pulling in pull requests, and then that's been pulled in. There's a lot of different reasons.
Okay, but if I see these, should I pay attention to them, or is that just a techie thing I don't need to worry about?
It depends on the context. For Tina CMS, I put if it's an open source, like if it's a community contribution, there's no PBI associated to it, so I can track the pull request.
Right.
Just to make sure, because we still have to do work against it to make sure it's up to scratch. And
so this is basically, this means it's a pull request that happened even though it wasn't part of any existing.
It may not have been part of a PBI until you click on it. You don't know.
Okay.
All right, Hajia.
Yeah. So this was a bug that Portal had issues, and when the token was getting expired. So I fixed that one and several other issues with the extension and Microsoft Graph. So that was kind of a bug fix, which was done through the pull request.
Sure.
And the other one is, so yeah, this was the flow which was reviewed and changed according to like what we wanted to happen to try it now. That is the second one.
Okay. Adam, so the good news, by the way, is try it now is working. So if people come to the website and they will kind of want to get a feel for what this is, they can do that via the browser extension.
Okay, now I'm confused. Where is it being stored?
It's not a separate tenant. Well, it is kind of a separate tenant. There's a hard-coded tenant.
It's stored in Northwind tenant.
Right. Okay. So we do support one tenant, just not multi-tenant. We support two tenants.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, that tenants cannot create Yaks through Teams app. That was the problem. It's okay to do it through browser extension.
Yep. Okay. Now, just one thing, I saw some feedback from Tiago back on that design. I don't know, this is really for Josh and probably Caleb, but go back onto that website. Yeah.
Website?
Not that, the actual website. Now, stay where you were with the bar, the pricing bar. Move that pricing bar across and see the three things. No, a bit down. Move the $100 an hour across. See how two numbers are changing on the right. See how two numbers are changing on the right. This is for you, Caleb, but there is an issue there that Tiago suggested, which said don't have the 50 hours in pink because that's the number not changing.
But it does change if you click on any of the things above it.
Yeah, it does change.
Ah, right. I see.
All numbers that are variables. All numbers that are variables were highlighted.
That helps me understand why you did that. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's not. Yeah, it's not super clear.
I wouldn't have known that, but yeah, that's very clever. Definitely reply to Tiago why you think it's the right way then.
The PBI is still on the backlog, so it just hasn't been worked on yet.
Yeah, but you shouldn't do it if you think like that. The logic that Josh just gave is good logic. You know, I'd push back and say, do you fully understand that the plans change it?
I get it. I put another slider above it that has the number of employees, and as you slide it, it changes the plan and changes the number of hours saved.
But the number of employees doesn't dictate the plan.
Essentially, the logic behind that, we discussed that at Wixie.
Yeah.
But we don't, when it comes to the calculator here, we don't care A, how many employees you have, or B, how many credits you actually want. If you want 450 credits, that is not an option. We're going to give you your best case scenario with the tier. So you could have an organization of 300 people, but you're only going to use 100 credits a month. There's no fixed correlation.
On average, we see organizations of 300 people use this number of credits, which means we'd recommend this plan.
But we don't have that data. We've only got one tenant's worth of data to like. I don't disagree with you there. That'd be cool to have, but we don't have that data to make a correlation or an assumption yet.
You don't need the data. You're a big organization. We'd suggest you'd go on, like, what would you try and sell them? Would you try and sell them the team? It's this, 300-person company. You're going to sell them a $40 a month plan, or you're going to sell them, you try and sell them the $200 or the enterprise?
But let's just say they've got 10 employees. They might not want you automatically switching to growth or enterprise. They might want to stay on team.
Yeah, we wanted to give them the most flexibility.
Yeah, you can also have a team of like a company of 100 developers, or you can have Woolworths with 100 developers but 500,000 people who stuck shelves, right? So the number of employees is kind of irrelevant. It's the number of developers or number of people.
I get Tiago saying that that 50 it doesn't change, so it shouldn't be colored. But if there was another slider that had, you've got this number of people, and then maybe next to it says recommended plan, but the number of people change, the monthly time saved it would have to change. I've got more people using it, so therefore I'm going to save more time.
I still disagree. If you look at the math, like we've given them in those information circles, they're actual tooltips next to the figures we provide. So if you go into those we have 3 variables there, and all of those variables are highlighted. Like those are the 3 things that are dependent variables here to give you a result. So we've highlighted all 3 of them. And the monthly time saved changes per tier.
What you could do is have a different color highlight around the selected up the top.
Yeah.
So select that, and then the top 2 numbers could be that color, and then the bottom 2 numbers could be the color of the bar, and then that's a bit clearer.
Yeah, we could do green for the actual month, like the
yeah, or you could do
money.
Just like straight up red and purple. One's red, one's purple. I don't know.
Yeah. Would that make it clearer? Do you think, Wixie?
I would have a look at Tiago's. Tiago put like a 4-minute video together, so he explained it in detail.
Have a look at what he said.
Okay.
I can feel Tiago's pain because there's a slider, and I'll move the slider up and down. I'm not going to change plans because it's I may not make that association straight away.
Yeah. I'm not sure where that PBI is in the backlog though. It's not in the next sprint.
Josh, can we have you speak to Tiago? Just give him a call, and you'll have to call him.
Yeah, I can. I don't have any working days this sprint though for YakShaver.
Oh.
Yes, I can speak to him about it.
Yeah,
I can speak to him with Caleb.
Yeah, in the morning. Yeah.
Or even perhaps Louis, because Louis was the one who put this component together.
Good idea. Yeah. Okay.
Can you, in the meantime, Josh, in the background, can you look for that PBI and just put it in Sprint so we've got access to it?
Yep.
Thanks.
Right. Okay. Right. Let's move on. Client portal. So there's more implementation from Ajia. Can you walk us through on the global setting?
Yeah, so before we used to store some of the settings inside the token. I moved it that it is going to be a global setting that is available in the throughout the Next.js app. So we can store more information about tenant, what permissions they have, and other stuff. And yeah, this was done using best practices.
All right, cool. All right.
Sorry, just was there any work done on the extension in this sprint?
Yes, there were lots.
A lot. Are we getting to that? Are we?
It went through. There was a browser extension thing already covered, and the try it now works as a result.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Is that everything to do with the extension?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Hajir, do you have a done video yet on this?
I sent one to Yuli before. Sorry.
Yuli, have you watched it?
Yes, that was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is it on the channel?
No, it's just to Yuli.
Okay, so what you need to do is show it to a few people, call them, get their feedback, and record a second version. Or ask someone like Josh or Caleb or Tom to do another version if you don't want to do it. But we need to get a version on the channel with feedback.
Sure.
Incorporating the feedback.
So it's quite a work in progress kind of thing. Like the browser extension will end up having all the features that Teams has, which it doesn't have at the moment.
Oh, okay. You think it's just not ready enough to have
It's ready for
video?
try it now, but it's not ready for me for like using it really for like actual shaves.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can technically do a shave, but it can't ask you for disambiguation or show like it can't do anything that Teams can do.
Right. Okay. But I
So-
think that's fine. We can say if you want the the advanced stuff, use Teams. The disambiguation is an enterprise feature.
Well, it can't be enterprise because it makes it unusable not having it.
Disambiguation.
Yeah, disambiguation is like I have no idea which project you just said. Where did you want that to go? You just mentioned 5 different projects at once. Where did you want that to go?
Yeah,
like
I guess
that's a feature that we have to have.
Well,
it's part of the workflow.
Maybe you're right, but the way I think about it is everybody in the world should get that version, the extension with the ability to YakShave to YouTube with a watermark for free, and all other features you have to pay for.
Oh yeah, look, if you only had one project, then you wouldn't need disambiguation.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess that's how I would prefer it to work. That out of the box, that's it. Yeah, and all the other features are advertised.
So they still need to BYO API key though, so that we don't ride that cost.
I don't mind writing the cost for some YakShaves per day that have a watermark. It's probably sustainable.
Maybe.
Even if you said it was 1 YakShave per day, for free for everyone, I think it's fine.
Like 2 free tiers: the free tier and the BYO API key tier. We could complicate things a bit, but we could.
They're very complicated.
Okay. Let's move on. Next one, wizard. So we Tom has implemented a redesigned wizard from the designers. So here's the screenshot. I think so. Adam, I think you should take a look at this. So this, when the client signs up, this is the wizard that they need to go through. So we have got the steps on the top, the progress bar, and at each step, it will describe what you need to do at this step. So first is the welcome screen.
Yep.
Next bit, Entra ID. They need to connect their Entra ID.
So this is important. Only someone with admin permissions of the Entra ID can actually set up YakShaver.
Right. Okay.
And then once that's done, we've got a tick connected, and then you can move on to the next step.
Wait, go back.
Yeah.
So the next doesn't change.
The next doesn't change.
It's like a primary action color, but
okay.
Actually, hang on, that is confusing. What happens there? Do you click on the top or the bottom?
Click on the top.
So it shouldn't next be grayed out at this point? Or not even visible, actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't. The call to action is Microsoft Entra ID.
Okay.
So can you do it without doing Microsoft Entra ID? Like, can you skip it?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So that would be one argument, is to have a skip option, but no. Otherwise, can we get rid of next to that step?
It has been a while since I've done it, but I'm pretty sure that next doesn't show up until you're connected to Entra ID.
Okay.
So this is wrong then.
There's an outdated screenshot. Tom, can you double check? Take a note, double check on this screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the way I would do this, Rick, is I would do these screens. Who did these screens?
Ken.
The Figma design or the screenshots?
Well, these screenshots once after the Figma design.
I did the updated screenshots.
Okay, so what I would have done, Tom, do this and then call me or Yuli or Callum and say, please check this, and then say, here it is, it's been checked by so and so. But I'll just give you a couple of quick things. See the red bar at the top, welcome enter ID. I would definitely be hesitating about having a word which is red on black. It's very hard to read. Definitely just make it bold, white and bold, and then I would have the little circles underneath projects and complete. Even though they're not red, they'll be very faint in white, so you can see the outline there. And secondly,
I didn't understand that regarding the circle. What? Can you repeat that again?
I still have very faint circles underneath projects and complete.
There are very faint.
There are circles.
Oh, well, they're so faint. They make them less faint. I'm sorry, I couldn't even see them. So a little bit less faint, so you can see they're there. The other thing is the buttons are way too wide. You don't have buttons that wide. And with the next, have next space greater than symbol. And then when you go down to the next one, you have a next with a greater than, and on the left-hand side, you have a back, less than, back.
Yeah, and if you want to pass the coding challenge, use an arrow icon instead of a greater than symbol.
Anyway, look, yeah, this is not the time or place to go through all the UI stuff, but do it and get it checked by someone before.
So who checked off the Figma designs?
I don't know, but once you do it, then get it checked by somebody before presenting at the sprint review.
It's different when you see it and play with it as opposed to Figma.
Yeah.
We had an interactive demo in Figma, but yeah, I will do that.
Yeah. No, the designers help you, but that's not the end of it. Okay. All right. Cool.
All right.
Keep going.
Next step is they will need to configure their project source. So the project source we support are GitHub and Azure DevOps.
Okay.
And
all right.
same, they will connect their projects, and then next.
I have problems with that UI as well, but that's
and then next.
all good.
So now they are ready to set up Teams or screenshot or snipping tools on Windows.
Yes. Okay. Good.
So
okay.
Hang on. Sorry, that it says smoothly. It should say smooth.
Where is smooth?
You can start using YakShaver now, or configure the following tools to make your YakShaver experience more smoothly.
It is smooth.
Trust the English person.
It should say smooth.
Thank God it's smoothly.
More smooth.
Yeah, smooth.
Okay.
Adjective, not adverb.
Oh, now he's flexing. All right.
That's all
right. Right, Tom, you got that?
Yeah.
Smooth. Okay, so that's the wizard.
Okay, good. Next,
SendGrid. So this is nothing visible, so we are just replace resend with SendGrid. So now we are able to use template within SendGrid. Yeah, so those are SendGrid. Next one. Yes.
Silly question.
Yep.
Is there a rule on SendGrid?
I'm not sure.
Okay, you should be sure.
Yep.
But yeah, we're not going to use the tool unless we've already put it on the rules as the good example.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I hadn't heard of resend.
Tom, can you write down? We need to check the rules for SendGrid.
I just checked. There's SendGrid is the recommended option for sending emails.
Okay, you can always update the rules, so that becomes the bad example, and this becomes a good example.
But no, that's the same thing. SendGrid. It's already a good example.
What the resend thing?
Resend was first recommended by Louis, so he was gonna use that for marketing purpose. He was trying out new marketing feature, but it turns out it's not that good, so we switched to SendGrid.
Oh well, he could have checked the rules and saved a lot of time.
Yeah.
All right.
Is resend a bad example then?
Possibly. We should speak to Louis about what's
make
bad
sure he
about...
updates it. If he's learnt that stuff, he should share it and put the reason that he didn't like it.
The only reason I brought it up is I hadn't heard of resend.
Okay.
So I was surprised.
Cool. All right.
Sorry, where did you see resend? I can only see SendGrid.
They changed it from something.
Yep, it's
From
not in the
resend
title.
to SendGrid.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
All right, next bit. This was a long PBI. Well, old PBI. So now we are in Azure DevOps. We updated the name from SSW YakShaver production to YakShaver.ai.
Nice.
So
Good work.
sysadmin has got it worked. So
Okay.
Good.
So does this mean if you connect it to Azure DevOps, it costs per month to give it access? Does it need, or is it because you have it down as a basic SKU, not a stakeholder?
So I'm not sure. We should test shareholder license. Stakeholder, yeah. Stakeholder license.
Stakeholders don't have access to code, and they get free access. And I'm pretty sure they can create issues. So if you can do it as a stakeholder, then it's not an added cost for people. Whereas this could, like, it's $5 a month, but $5 is $5.
Okay. Yep. Stephen, can you write this down? Test stakeholder license on Azure DevOps.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Thanks, Matt.
Cool. All right. Next one, client portal. So this is a bug. So when the new user sign up, we didn't create that user in the user table. So you create a bunch of troubles when we send out the welcome email. So now it's fixed. So whenever a user sign up, we first create that user so that all the following steps can work now. Next one, Graph API. We have lots of places where we hard code the SSW tenant ID. So now it's all removed and it should support multi-tenant.
Okay. I hope that refactoring you were CCing the people that put those hard-coded values in.
Those people are left.
Really? Okay. All right, good.
New bug. So whenever people create a new project, YakShaver couldn't recognize it immediately. So we've put in a fix where a new project is added. We immediately sync the table so that it's visible to YakShaver and the user can YakShave it immediately. So that's the bug. Websites. This is a minor Z-index bug where it sits behind it doesn't look beautiful.
Okay, good.
And this is a little bug on the pricing page button didn't work. All right, next one, client portal backend. This should be a good one. So Stephen has put in some stats on the dashboard. So those stats are real time now. So as you can see, those are graphs that collected in the past 30 days. So that's the graph.
Sorry, just a quick question on that. So the graph on the right obviously covers the x-axis covers more than 30 days. I'm assuming that's showing all the data that we have, right? That's not just putting the last 30 days of data on a graph that shows 6 months.
Stephen?
The actual data was starting from March, but the earlier data was just 0, 0, zeros. If you can
Right.
see
So, but because it says last 30 days at the top left, but I'm guessing that the visuals on the right hand side of the page are actually showing the last 6 months, right?
Yeah. The last 30 days was just these first 3 cards on the left hand side.
Yeah, good. Okay, just checking because at the moment it is only showing 30 days data, so just making sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, where is that? Because is that on for sale?
No, this is our client portal. Let's log into our client portal. So this is what you see when you log in.
I couldn't tell. I really didn't. I had no idea where this was because there was no. It sounds silly, but there was no address bar in the screenshot, so
Yeah.
I just thought it was like Vercel or something like that.
Yeah, it just is missing the branding somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you could have a watermark of a yak in the bottom or something like Tina does. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's very unfamiliar. It doesn't look.
Or if the header said last 30 days of yak shaving.
Yeah, that would help. Yeah.
Sorry, I just didn't know where it was at all.
Okay.
Right, I've noted down.
Yeah, but nice work, Stephen. I think it's really good. Has there been any changes at all to the leaderboard in the last sprint?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Yang has jumped.
The what?
Yang has come out of nowhere. There's now like
No, I
second or
mean
third.
the functionality of it.
Oh.
or-
Oh no.
Yeah, no, we haven't changed it.
Okay. Since this is real time, is the other one real time or is it updated daily?
The other one, what do you mean the other one?
The
The
leaderboard.
leaderboard that people see.
Teams
Oh.
chat.
Oh yeah, that one is the same, but they are now using different tables. Before we had a leaderboard table in database that was designed dedicated for leaderboard. That's only recording basic data and YakShaver usage. But now this dashboard is built upon on a more sophisticated data source. So in the future, we might going to migrate the leaderboard on the teams to this database, not this table, rather than the leaderboard table.
All right, let me try again. Is the leaderboard that we see in Teams real time or is it updated periodically?
It's real time, yeah.
Okay.
Cool, thanks.
Right. So this is the same PBI for the chart, graph,
Right.
charts and graph. So this is how it should look like when we have full 6 months of data. That's how it should look like. Right, next one, video. So now whenever we now I've embedded the video link in the backlog link inside the video description. So when we watch a video, we couldn't know which PBI it was, and we didn't know where it came from. So now in the description section, it has the link back to the work item. Right, next bit, enhance health check. So previously we have always 100% uptime for the health check, and now we are implemented more comprehensive health checks. So now that will include a bunch of metrics, including checking the graph subscription, including database checks and all sort of things. And you can see the graph later in the email. Next bit, we've got some UX feedback. So after continuation, so this is a improve UX experience. So when the user click continue, when the YakShaver says, do you want to abort this yaks? And when you click continue, there isn't anything happening. So now this is fixed.
One thing that I felt from the UI, I wasn't sure if all my yaks were now paused or just that one recording was paused. So it would be better if the word says, do you want to continue with this shave instead of do you want to continue? That's I'm not
okay.
Yeah, the question that's there gives me the feeling that all my yaks are paused until I answer the question. Yeah, it's not a big deal, but it's
makes sense. I agree with that.
All right, Stephen, can you write that down? Improving the wording. All right.
Yeah.
Incorrect task creation project. So this is a little bug when Wixie asked for sending an email, but he actually created a work item in the project. Lewis has improved the prompt to make sure it's accurately figure out the intent. So that's that bug. Websites. So we've got quite a lot of website changes. So I guess we can jump into the website as we go. 1 second. So first, navbar clip text. So this is a little bug on the nav bar.
That was a Z, yeah, just not a Z and an indexing issue with
Yep.
the how we rendered it.
Yep. So now it's fixed. So navbar also disappear on the tablet and mobile view. Josh, Caleb has now fixed it on tablet and mobile view. Animation not visible on bento components. So this, Caleb, is this the animation?
Yeah, although it only plays when you first see it. So just go to the top of the page.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the animation you're talking about.
No?
No, that animation is continuous. I think he's talking about the title animation. If you scroll down to that section.
Yep.
So yeah,
That's
the you scroll past it.
Is it this one?
The meet your new YakShaver.
Oh, this one. Right.
Meet your new assistant. That like that plays when it enters the viewport window now instead of just when you're at the top of the page.
Right. Okay. So that's that one. End-to-end test, we'll come back to that. I just want to go through all the websites improvement. So sidebar, side navigation for docs. Let's have a look at the docs. So now we have the left-hand side navigation panel. It looks very nice. So now people are able to select the topics that they're interested in.
Again, I'm struggling with the red on black. I think it should be bold, white. You can bump up the font, put stars around it, emojis, whatever, but don't have red on black.
Out of curiosity, why is that? Because I don't necessarily agree with that change.
Well, does anybody else agree with me?
I'm a bit away from the screen, but I'd be checking the contrast on it to make sure it's accessible.
Yeah, I can tell you, maybe your eyes are probably awesome, but other people are not going to find that easy to read.
The bolding, it's already bolded emojis is going to make it look tacky.
Yeah,
if we're going to, it being white is something, but it's also the hover color, so it's just make it purple.
Yeah. If I could make a suggestion, the background on that page is using a gray background, whereas we've also got this this black background style on the Try It Now page. Maybe we could update it to just be like a solid black so that we've got higher contrast, but I'm not necessarily sure if we need to make everything white. I don't see what's wrong with the red.
Are you, Caleb, are you saying you can't see what's wrong with the red?
Are you saying that the contrast is bad? Is that the issue?
Yeah, I'm thinking that you're not seeing the problem because you have good eyes and you're young. But I can tell you, in 20 years' time, you'll have trouble reading that red on black, and you got to be aware of that's the actual thing you want them to read. That's the thing that they're on at the moment, and you made that the hardest to read.
Yeah, I agree that the contrast is bad, but I think a solution to that would be making the background darker rather than making that white.
Oh, you can try different ways, but leaving it as is with the major one in red on black is not going to work.
Right.
You could make the left-hand nav, gray polygons. You could try something. Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on. Recommended badge on the ROI section. So that's this badge.
Yep.
So we'll put that recommended badge there.
I'm not sure I'd say recommended. I think it would be better to say popular.
Popular.
Mm.
Well, that's following the same conventions we use for the rest of the. I think if you go pricing. Sorry, Rick, if you go to the pricing route, most popular. Yeah, we can change it. Yeah, that fits.
Mm-hmm.
What we do there.
Okay. Most popular. All right. Next, YakShaver. Multiplier and UI enhancement. All right. So I guess that's the Scholar, the ROI. So when we select different plan, it's using different multiplier. Is that right, Josh?
Yeah, I fixed the math there compared to what we had before.
Now, that pricing thing, that's very clever, Josh. The only hesitation I have is it's a lot of work and it's not really scalable. It's not going to work on other SSW properties and stuff like Tina, Sugar Learning, etc. Maybe it would. If I was working on this, I would just try to make sure, oh, is this going to be generic? Can we do this more than once? But maybe it's worth it. It's quite.
As in, can we apply the same logic or?
Yeah, well, the same idea. It doesn't have to be exactly the same,
right
thing, but the same concept. It's quite clever, and maybe it's worth doing just for one product. But obviously, you'll get a lot more value if you can make it generic and think about other products before you do it.
Understandable. Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Next bit, how YakShaver works. Icon and text change. So Josh reminded me, I forgot what's this one about. How YakShaver works.
Do you want to scroll through the PBI? Because I'm actually not sure that was.
Okay. This bit. So.
Yep.
That's
so
the
last
text
time
change.
we spoke. Oh yeah, that was just a simple text change, like the content inside of it, and adding the icons, which was from last sprint review.
Okay. Next one, try now. So we've got when people clicks on try now, it used to jump directly to the Google store, but now we have an intermediate page guiding the user on what are the steps that you need to do.
That's very clever. Who came up with this idea?
I think Josh or Yuli.
Right. And it's very, very good. It's awesome.
It was me. I want my credit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I wish I had thought of this. Yeah. Now I realize. Now I see this. I see how bad the old system was.
Okay. So that's that one. There's a minor adjustment to the layout and CTA banner. And also there's CSS improvement on the responsiveness. Transcript section refactor. So I think this one was at the homepage. That animation of the transcript.
Yeah, that was the big animation one.
Yep. The instruction on the try now page. So I guess those are the text update. So that's all the done PBIs in this sprint. Any questions?
You're going back to the end-to-end one?
End-to-end. Yeah, so end-to-end. So this is a ongoing task. So we have created V2 we have created a version for each sprint, and now this is V2. So whatever we found in the end-to-end test, we'll create and put it immediately into the sprint and have it fixed. So in this sprint, we have a V3.
Right. So okay. I just open that up when you've made that change. Tom, when you put a URL, I would avoid putting a full stop at the end. It ends up just giving you grief when people copy it. Okay, just a small thing. Are we using Playwright for this end-to-end test?
No, end-to-end test was done manually because there are lots of.
Okay.
Are they scripted things that you go through and check, or is it just ad hoc like whatever you want to test?
So the end-to-end test, actual end-to-end test is pretending I am a new customer. I want to sign up YakShaver. So I would first go log in and go through the wizard.
So there's a script to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So that's that.
Just to be clear, I don't think that script is written down anywhere, but it's kind of intuitive. Like we have to.
Kind of think. Yeah, I'd write it down because that's going to be the stuff that you automate when you automate those tests, and at least you're testing the same thing.
Okay.
Right. And by the way, just on that one, since Yuli was flexing his English, That has end-to-end has dashes because it's a compound adjective. And I didn't even go to private school, you.
It's not a compound adjective. Oh, it is actually.
Oh.
Yeah, it is. It is. Nice one. Did you Google that?
Okay. All right, let's continue. So we've gone through all the done PBIs. Let's have a look at the code coverage. We've went down a little bit, 0.2% decrease. Production release, we had 10. So we're fixing lots of bugs and release new features. Application
that
health.
deployment is awesome. That's really good. You've got in a really nice cadence with the team.
All right. Application health. So what we've done here is availability has dropped. So it used to be 100% uptime, but that wasn't true. So since we implemented more comprehensive checks, so now, as you can see, we had more fail requests here. At the same time, the availability went down. And we've also set up a alert email. So whenever there's availability less than 100%, the team member will receive a notification. Yeah, so that's that. Monthly usage. So we have Wixie on the top, Seth, Isaac, and honorable mention Yan. I was surprised that Yan used a lot, 26.
It should be because we call YakShaver and it tags Yangshan, maybe. Is that why?
No, I think it's the creator who actually made the.
I would like to double check that she's really doing all that. I think there's a bug.
It's a bug? Okay.
Yeah.
Stephen, can you double check Yan's usage?
Yeah, I'll do to her.
And by the way, it's pronounced young.
Young, okay.
It's spelt yang, but it's pronounced young.
Young, okay. All right. Product roadmap. So we have 24% increase in multi-tenancy, trying out 9%. We are almost there. There are a few PBIs created in this one, and that's why we have decreased percentage there. Backlog stats. I didn't fill this in. I need to get the script from Isaac in order to fill this in. So I'll do that after the meeting.
Thank you.
R&D. So I did a little bit of experiment. I was doing the end-to-end test for event grid. However, the partner topic does. We need to set up separate partner topic per tenant. So that's why the end-to-end test didn't work. So currently we only have one topic. And what we need to do is we need to set up one topic per tenant. And once that's done, the multi-tenancy should work pretty much there. AI tools, we didn't have, everyone is using the same tools. We have Client, ChatGPT, Cursor, GitHub Copilot.
No one's using Gemini 2.5 Pro.
Anyone? I've heard good and bad.
Has anyone tried it?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay.
I heard good news and bad news from different people using Gemini 2.5. Some people say it's good, some people say it's trash.
Okay, no, it's my model of choice at the moment.
Okay.
Interesting.
Nice. All right. Retros. What went well? So try it now. Now it's working via the browser extension. It works pretty well. Caleb said we have very good progress on the website, and we all agree on that. We have availability check working. So now it does reflect the true availability now. And then team members also get the email when it goes below 100%. Stephen said we have live stats on the dashboard. And thanks to Hajia's feedback, and now they're using best practice for Next.js. What went wrong? Caleb said we should mention that SEO issue on the homepage sooner. So this is when we didn't have a robots.txt on the homepage. and that might be causing the we are not showing up on the Google search result. So Caleb will be looking into that. Rick said multi-tenancy didn't work end to end. So, and Yuli said Teams app won't be published in time. This means we can't sign up people via the portal at NDC. However, we do have a backup plan. We will have a CTA at NDC so that people can sign up their waiting list. Caleb says we might need to discuss how we handle types declaration in the code because they are using lots of any type, and any type is a bad practice in Next.js.
Bad practice in TypeScript.
TypeScript.
Are you using Biome or ESLint? Because those are usually the default rules that'll warn you about that straight away.
I don't think we've got strict type. I think we've got strict mode turned on for our linting, so it usually passes the checks.
Okay. Now, does anybody else have any feedback?
I just the live dashboard. I literally said, "Is that Vercel?" So I think that's good feedback.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, the way it looks so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else with feedback?
I was thinking, what if instead of like waitlist, we say invitation, like how these new apps like Manus AI and stuff say you need invitation to be able to use the app and wait for it to be invited. Would that be better?
Isn't that just like a waitlist?
No, it's different. Like you need to be invited. Like there is.
So it's.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You need
No,
a email address.
I don't think we're that popular. I think it's
That way, though, it does sound like we are live already.
Yeah.
And it's not just like a indefinite wait list you're signing up for.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Like join the wait list. It's invite only. Join the wait list.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Nice
But
reframing.
I do want anyone who's interested to join that wait list and not think, oh, I can't.
Yes.
No,
but
they can.
I think Hajir's one makes it more enticing that people are being added all the time. Where I had probably a worse one where I said in 45 days you'll be told. You know.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
As opposed to invite only, don't join this waitlist unless you've been invited.
It's invite only, but you can join the
join the queue.
Yeah.
New people are being onboarded all the time.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. It's much better. Yeah. Good suggestion.
That's a good catch.
All right. Anyone else? Okay. I will give you a few.
Hoodies are cool.
Yeah, you can show the hoodies. Yeah. There's a highlight. The other highlight is that you got the you got the Teams. Oh, sorry, you got the OneDrive versus YouTube working, which is great. However, the big downside of that, and everybody should be saying the same what went wrong, it should have plus, +1, is that we didn't get our major multi-tenant feature out, right? That really mattered. And I think the first thing is it shouldn't all been on Rick's shoulders. He's done some overtime to try to get it shipped. His communication should have been, as soon as it pops into his head, oh my goodness, this is a problem. He should be informing everyone, but we shouldn't have just Rick on this. And obviously, I wouldn't have been asking for my YouTube versus OneDrive feature if I thought that was a perilous thing to ask for. So that's the big one. Smaller ones, getting a few things ready. Like, I don't know when you came up the plan B, but if you came up the plan B today, that's the wrong time. You needed to have that plan B earlier. So, so we had more, more thinking to refine. But we've got something which is good. Just some little things here. Just the formatting of this retro. Normally we have Caleb dash, Rick dash, Yuli dash. I know you've got this. It looks like ChatGPT, but you're wasting a lot of screen real estate where we can't read them all quickly. But yeah, look, you've done a good job here. All right, all good.
All good.
Let's
Then
move on
to the planning. So next sprint, our goal is for NDC support. We need to make sure the demo is live and working all the time throughout NDC. Next sprint will be 1 week. 1 week. So we will be doing end-to-end tests for V3, and the major thing is we need to fix that OneDrive folder listening issue for non-SSW tenant. And then we need to publish this Teams app as soon as possible. And there's also some bugs fixed. There's a production issue going on at the moment. Yuli couldn't shave his yaks. So I suspect that was got to do with the new YouTube video host from this morning. And there are a bunch of websites. And then Hajir is going to work on adding the UI for configuring video host in the client portal. And Ken has come up with a new design interface for the user screen. So I think Tom will be working on that. And there's more website changes. And then the last bit, we will be start looking to Stripe integration. So Yuli has come up with the pricing model now. So we will spend some time on making it work with Stripe. So there are some PBIs for it. And last bit, UI UX improvement from Caleb. So that's all for this sprint. Any questions?
Okay. Now, before you move on to close this out, I want you to know that I think this sprint review has been almost an hour, and that would make it the longest sprint review we've ever had in all of SSW history, I believe. If you look at every other recording, we must shorten this down so you can bold the important ones. Things you can't remember, skip over. They're not important. So bold the important ones that you want shipped in this sprint. And when you do your demo in the next sprint, bold the ones you want to talk about that you work out prior to the sprint review recording. And then you quickly go through it. If you need to put down certain people's names in the assignee column or something to prompt you, hey, I want Stephen to demo this leaderboard feature, or I want Caleb to do something. It's nice and quick, but we cannot have a sprint review as long as this again.
Right. Yep. By the way, this was a 2 weeks sprint, so we got lots of PBIs done.
Let's not make a 3-week sprint then.
Right. Okay. So happy with the planning?
Yes, it's a good plan.
Okay. So this video will be uploaded to our YakShaver YouTube channel. And this Wednesday is the NDC Melbourne. I hope we can see some of you at the booth. See you next time. Bye.
See you guys. Who's exhausted?